Good evening. Happy Thursday, Dbacks fans. Welcome online into another episode of Dbacks Dispatch, the off-season edition, or off-season for us. I know postseason baseball still going on, but sadly we are not a part of it. It is just down to a two-man show tonight. Our man Gabe is enjoying himself a nice little trip. I believe he's in Germany right now. So hopefully Gabe is enjoying some nice German brewery and seeing some sights. I know it's been a minute since we saw you guys. The last time we saw you guys, Joe Flacco was still a Brown. That is no longer the case. So we appreciate you guys tuning on in here. Love seeing you guys in here. If this is your first time tuning on into D-Backs Dispatch, my name is Brett. The other gentleman on the, I guess, right side of your screen would be Brandon. Obviously, Gabe is out for tonight, but then also our lovely, I guess, man behind the ones and twos, usually Josh, our producer. He is also the fourth man of the show, usually a fourth man. I know you guys usually only see three of us in here, but it's a four-man crew, just on to two tonight. So we appreciate you guys tuning on in here for another episode. This is your first time. Like, comment, subscribe on the YouTube side. If you're on Apple, Spotify, wherever else you listen to your podcast, leave a review, whatever you think, maybe 1 star, half a star, maybe you think we're 5 stars. Who knows? Whatever you feel like review, leave it. Make sure you guys go follow us on all socials. We do have a Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We also do have a Discord that should be in the link not only in our YouTube, in all the Spotify podcast, wherever you listen to us, should be in the description there, and it's our pinned tweet on Twitter. Make sure you guys join the Discord, especially for the off season. We're going to be getting some of you, so you guys involved in some of these shows, viewer questions, getting your guys' thoughts throughout the season as we get some like news and whatnot coming out around. The off-season free agency, all that shit, especially once the season in the World Series is in the past and we actually get some more off-season moves. The best place to be is in the Discord because we'll get some first reactions there and then get your guys' thoughts and whatnot. But Brandon, anything you wanted to touch on before we kind of dive into here on some of our little off-season topics and whatnot?
It really feels weird that we haven't had any real D-backs talk and just in general in a few weeks. Like that's all we did for months, and now it's just we could go a few more weeks and not really have any news on the Diamondbacks. So it just feels weird.
It is weird. I miss having games to recap and talking about stats, Perdomo, Corbin, all those other guys. So it's definitely a little bit weird adjustment. That's why I miss not having us in postseason baseball. But hopefully next year we can get back there and then maybe even go a couple years in a row. Maybe break that not making the playoffs back-to-back years curse. But you got to start with at least 1 year. Hopefully we can get back there next year. But there was at least, I know it's not like necessarily the D-backs like breaking news or was anything, but there was some information that came out on what exactly and who exactly is going to be arbitration eligible for some of the guys on the roster and kind of what some of the numbers are looking like. So I'll go through the list that we have here. There's a lot of bullpen guys. There's a lot of guys that, maybe a few that we won't see on the team. I know there's one name that stuck out to me that I'm hoping that we don't see, that we don't have to pay money. Especially if we're going to be cutting payroll. We can save at least like around $2 to $3 million on this guy. But going down the line here, obviously Ryan Thompson, T-time, eligible, probably around $3.9 million. Looks like he'll be the highest paid out of that group. Then Ryan Nelson, $3.3 million. Just give him Ryan Thompson's money. Nelly deserves it after the season he put up for us. AJ Puck obviously won't be pitching probably until around the All-Star break, maybe even a little bit further because I know he went under the knife a little bit later than guys like Jay Martin, Corbin Burns. He'll be eligible for 3.3 in arbitration. Ginkel, who struggled this year mightily, hopefully we can see him kind of bounce back to his ways in 26. He'll be around $3 million. The guy that I was talking about that I'm hoping we don't see on the roster this upcoming year is Pavin Smith. He'll be on the hook for around a $2.4 million arbitration bump. Then we got Gabby Moreno at 2.4 as well. Hopefully they just give it to him. Maybe we can, maybe one of the offseason breaking news that we get, maybe we'll see a Gabriel Moreno like extension. Because again, I know the injury history and whatnot can be some people's kind of concern. But I personally think that after what we saw with Gabby this year, especially when he was locked in, sign him now. Give him the money now, so we don't have to worry about it seems like it'll get expensive as the months go on next year if he's playing the same way he's going. Alec Thomas, who again another guy that struggled this year, $2.2 million. Third time's a charm, another struggler. Jake McCarthy, $1.9 million. Then we got Ildemaro Vargas at 1.4. Is it Zach? I'm trying to remember. Zach Curtis or John Curtis? I try to forget Curtis. But Curtis will be 1.2 million, and then Kyle Nelson, another guy that I just don't think we should have on the roster anymore. He has not been the same since 23, and has just been a home run machine. He'll be on the hook for 1.1 million. So Brandon, looking at the also everybody welcome in. We see Disruptive in the chat. Welcome in. We appreciate you stopping by. Anybody else that's in the chat, feel free to let us know. Say what's up. Give us your thoughts and everything on whatever we're discussing here as well. We always like to see especially our Dodger friend Shug, who is one win away from seeing his team go to the World Series back-to-back years. But you know what, Shug, even though you're a Dodger fan, we appreciate you chilling on in here. Always love to see you in here, my friend. But Brandon, looking at the list of arbitration eligible players, is there anybody in here kind of like on this maybe the same boat as me, like Pavin Smith? Maybe you got like Kyle Nelson, someone you hope we don't even think about giving a arbitration eligible like contract to, or there's some players you think that even though we don't like it, we're probably going to see them get tendered and get that arbitration contract going into 2026. What are your thoughts on the kind of the list of players that we have spread out in front of us there?
First, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. It was an interesting list. It's John Curtis, by the way.
Thank you.
Interesting list. I would not have picked Ryan. Again, these are projections as to what it is. Basically, what it is, player says how much they think they own, team says how much they owe, and let's see how close that they get. Like you said, I think Nelly deserves more than the 3.3. I think he probably close to double that, to be honest. The way he pitched was
Our most reliable starter all year.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. If he does not start in the starting rotation next year, it's going to be this year all over again with does Torrey know what he's doing? Pavin, if they want to platoon him, I'm okay with it. I do not want him as a full-time first base situation. Do not. One thing I would like to see them do, platoon him with Goldie. Bring back Goldie, let Goldie face left-handed pitching, let Pavin hit right-handed pitching, and yeah, because I think Goldie still has some stuff left. I don't know if anyone's going to have him play full-time. I don't see that there. Gabby, if he can stay on the field, that's going to be what's going to hurt him. I don't think we're getting an extension with Gabby, personally. I think it's just due to injury. He can't help the team if he's not there. And I know,
like, the whole season I could see an extension, but yeah, Said, the way that his career's gone so far, I don't think we'll get one this offseason.
Like, every year, like, he's out for a bit, like, 30, 40 games. I mean, this year was, like, I think, like, almost 70 games he missed. That one, though, I don't blame him. I blame Major League Baseball because of that Cincinnati Reds, the rain just mess. I thought Thomas offensively played pretty well most of the year. It was his defense early on that was a lot to be desired. Just wasn't that great. Jake, just go. Like, Mike Hazen, just non-tender him, please. Just do it. Just do it. Like, I'm sorry, I can't watch him play anymore. He doesn't play good defense. His bat just, yeah, like it was better, but I'm sorry, with an outfielder like that, I need some slug, and he doesn't slug, and
It's
he
a
can't.
career worst season all around. Like worst OPS, worst slugging. Maybe not worst slugging. He had a lower slug in 2023.
I think he did better after the All-Star break, but like those first couple of months before he got sent down, yeah, it was not good. But if you look at his season as a whole, yeah, it doesn't look great. But kind of look at what he did the last 2 months. He hit okay, but it was just singles, and he can't read signs. He missed a bunt. He missed a very important bunt. Now we discussed at length. Was that the right decision? The batter before with Perdomo. That was that was a whole thing. Vargas, I think they should bring back. I think Vargas would be a great guy in the clubhouse. Utility, he can play. He literally can play third, short, second, and first. He was our first baseman the last month of the year. He's not a first baseman. He's not a first baseman. Curtis, he was all right. Curtis was all right. I could definitely see him being
good to have depth in Reno again. Just because again, if we have the same injury history, we're gonna need more arms. You always need more arms.
Yeah, it's just he's on that older side. I don't feel comfortable about it. I want like
guys ready to go that can help this team for a long period of time, not just 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kyle Nelson, just ship him to the moon. Just ship him to the moon. Like Kyle Nelson has nothing. Like I think he's been DFA'd by us twice.
Yeah, and nobody else wants him. Which again, I feel bad. Like he's a great guy. He was definitely really good in 23. Like part of the bullpen. One of the few lefties out of there. Like him and even in 2022 with Joe Mansupply, like they were solid. But a couple years removed from being solid, he's basically just a glorified BP machine. Even Jazz Chisholm would hit home runs off him in the home run derby. That's how bad he is. I mean, especially with again, that's how bad Kyle Nelson is. He would at least give up enough pitches down the middle that even Jazz could hit some home runs off him. But yeah, with the whole Gabby thing, I do agree. Like I could see them maybe getting a little bit less just because of the fact that he's missed time. But on the whole topic of just him missing time, people talk about Ketel Marte like missing time like Gabby Moreno does, where everyone's like, maybe we can touch on it a little bit, but it seems like there's been more talk lately about like, oh, the D-backs, if they're going to trade Ketel Marte, they should do it now. I'm sorry. The thought of even trading Ketel Marte, again, I know in Hazen's regime, nobody's untouchable. He'll always listen on an offer. He'll see what somebody's offering, but I don't think it's worth it at this point.
You're not going to get the return that you're looking for. If he was 26, 27, I think you could. He is on the other side of 30. There's no way that you're going to get any real solid prospects or major league ready talent. You're just not. So why even
why go for the unproven? Why go for the unproven somebody that again, we know not even just our luck, but like you could trade for somebody that's a top prospect. It's very rare that top prospects actually amount. I mean, we've seen it with Jordan Lawler. Again, I still think Jordan Lawler will turn it around, but there's guys that sometimes they don't fully blossom into what everyone's expected, and it's like I'd rather just take the proven in Ketel. I know we're kind of side tangenting here, but it was what I was seeing a lot. I know in our Discord we're talking about it. I know it's Snakes territory.
It's going to be like this all off season. You know this. Until Mike Hazen legit comes out and says, we are not trading him or Ken Kendrick. Like anyone else, I'm not going to believe it. And then there's going to be all these other fan bases that are going to do these mock trades, Mets fans, that are just...
Here's Jeff McNeil for Ketel Marte. No. Like...
You guys tried that 3 years ago and we thought it was stupid.
Jeff McNeil's ass now.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous. Like, we shouldn't even think about the idea of getting rid of Ketel Marte, but that's where, again, people think Ketel Marte has missed time like Gabby has, where it's multiple times, where it's like, yeah, Ketel missed like a month in the season, but, it's not like Gabby where it's every single year. Ketel's still putting up like a 16 WAR over the last 3 years. We should just not trade him away. But in regards to going back to, obviously, I know, like I said, we kind of side tangent there a little bit.
If we do, you got to get players that total at least the WAR that he gives. Like, you can't make a trade and the guys you get back, their WAR is way less than Marte. Because then you're really banking on, these guys could be. But like you said, why trade for the unproven when you have the proven?
It's literally the Family Guy meme of like, yep. I could just buy a boat, or I could buy a mystery box that could have a boat. I don't know. The mystery box is fun, right? No, just go with the fucking proven. Go with what you know. Ketel Marte should never play in another uniform again. Like I don't care. Call me. Maybe it's something with my emotional fan side too much. I don't care. I don't see how this team is better on paper, no matter what trade you get for, unless it's a guy like Paul Skeens or Tarek Skubal, which we know, like Brandon said, we're not getting those guys for Ketel Marte. And even Tarek Skubal, we're not signing either of those pitchers for an extension. So why get rid of a guy that's at least on a somewhat team-friendly deal that should be going up into the D-backs Hall of Fame with as a D-back being top 3 Diamondback of all time, maybe even top 2, surpassing Paul Goldschmidt, because I think it's Randy Johnson solidified number 1. I'll still put Goldie number 2.
I think Gonzo's 2.
And either way, even if Gonzo's 2, I think that Ketel, with the way his career is going, he will probably be number 2 if he stays in D-backs uniform the rest of his career. It's like I don't trade him. Like I can't imagine the team is not good or not better.
I will stop doing this podcast if they trade Ketel Marte.
We're gonna pull a full on that Panthers podcast where the Panthers are so bad. I don't know if you heard about that. I know it's
Yes,
side
I
tangent.
did. Yes, I
The
did.
Panthers had a fan podcast, kind of like what we do here. Obviously, it's not like affiliated with the team, but the Panthers are so bad that it literally made the podcasters retire. Which I saw some joke online. It was like, man, getting a couple white guys away from podcast equipment is nearly impossible in 2025. But the Panthers found a way to do it. But yeah, I'm on the same page. If we trade Ketel Marte, I mean, we'll still do it because obviously we're still, or at least I'd still do it. But like, I would be going on an absolute rant here and just ask for it should be organizational malpractice, and Hazen and everybody else.
I would
makes that
cancel my
decision.
season tickets at that point.
That's fair. I could see that, but like, I mean, I'll still be a fan no matter what. But I'll just be a pissed off fan, more than I already am. Especially whenever we see some of the fun in game management that we saw this year. But I think we're on the agreement there. Kyle Nelson gone, Pavin Smith. I know we're on the opposite side. I don't hate the idea of platooning him with Goldie, but I just think, I mean, we talked about it on one of our last shows. Jack Summers on Snakes territory brought up some great points. He's 30. Non-elite hitters really start to regress after 30. He's injured a lot, probably injured more than guys like even Gabriel Moreno. He's just inconsistent. His strikeout rate's gone up. I don't really see the point of keeping Pavin, especially if we have a guy like Ivan Melendez. Like, give him a shot. Like, I'd rather have these young guys be given a shot, and who knows, maybe they can turn it around. Maybe they can get a proven opportunity versus a guy we know where we're getting in Pavin. It's whatever. I know some people are on the side of they don't want Goldie here. I get it. He's an older guy. He's literally just a platoon guy. He can't really hit right-handed pitching. I don't give a shit. Bring back Paul Goldschmidt. I know Scott's on the same page as us. Yeah, Pavin has to go. I don't think it's going to happen. I think no matter what we wish, I just don't think it's going to happen. I don't think they're going to let Pavin Smith go, especially if they can keep a player for like $2 million. They're going to find a way to be like, no, what he provides to this team is worth it. It's
disruptive. He does walk. That's the thing. That's the only thing he's good at.
But then it's not good at defense. I don't know. Yeah, if we can, if we're in Moneyball, Pavin Smith is a perfect player. But yeah, Mr. .4 WAR Pavin, and nobody has a craving for Pavin. I fully agree. Nobody has a craving for Pavin anymore.
There's a few that we know that do have a craving for Pavin.
Is it real though, or is it more for the meme? Because then it'll piss off the rest of us that are actually realistic. I think it's more the latter.
I don't know. I think Mac really does enjoy Pavin, so
that's fair. I don't know. I don't, kind of like with the trading Ketel, I don't think he makes the team better. I don't see how keeping Pavin makes the team really better. It's basically just filling a spot. But we'll have to see how arbitration goes. I know Mike Hazen said it multiple times. Arbitration kind of sucks, especially when you have to actually go into a hearing, because you're literally going in front of a player and you're like, I mean, that's why Corbin Burns the Brewers burned that bridge with Corbin Burns, because they try to devalue him and be like, oh, you're not worth the $7 million because of the playoff losses or all this, where a team is trying to say a player's not good for these reasons why they should save money, where it's like, I feel like in the past, the D-backs have been good about avoiding those hearings and just being like, you know what, we're not going to try to turn this negatively. Let's come together and be like, okay, you know what, we hear what you're saying. We like, this is respectfully where we think you are as a player, in a positive way. Let's try to come to an agreement and avoid the actual legal side of it, because that is an easy way to burn bridges and an easy way for things to get ugly publicly, just like it did with the Corbin Burns and Brewers around like 2-3 years ago. Yeah. We'll have to see how that goes, which I could see some surprises. I could see, even like Brandon said, maybe give Ryan Nelson. Obviously, as he said, these are projections. These are not like set in stone. I think Nelly deserves maybe even twice of currently what he's going to be offered. I think guys like Puck maybe could go for less, obviously, just because of the injury. Maybe he can get a little bit less. Ginkel maybe a little bit less because of the way he's been playing. Same with Thomas McCarthy. Vargas, I could see that being an accurate number. I mean, just again, the guy to fill up a spot. Maybe
a little more.
Maybe a little more. Maybe like 2.5, something like that. Same with like Curtis. I could see maybe around 1, no higher than 2. Kyle Nelson just saved the money there, but it'll be an interesting process. It'll be interesting to see some of the numbers when they officially come out. But obviously, we're still probably a month or two away from even seeing any kind of qualifying numbers, because the full off season for every team hasn't even started yet. But there is another name, obviously, that we're gonna probably be keeping our eyes on, because Gallen, my goodness, Gallen does have a qualifying offer amount of 22, just over 22 million. Which I know there's a lot of people that basically say like there's no way he agrees to it, and I fully get it, especially with the way he kind of pitched down the final like month or two. I know his numbers overall this season didn't look that great. Obviously, we know his struggles early on. We know struggles, the almost like 5 ERA. He was not the Zach Gallen of the past. Really struggled with the home run ball this year. I think a career high in home runs, almost around 30 surrendered. But with the way he pitched in the final month and a half, add that to him being a Scott Boras client, I just don't see him accepting the qualifying offer, to where at least if he declines it, we obviously have the chance to still bring him back. Just like with Christian Walker last year, he can decline the offer, and we can still try to negotiate a deal, maybe a 2-3 year whatever deal, maybe some player opt outs in there to kind of try to save the team some money, whatever it is. So there's option A, but what I think is the more realistic option is going to be option B, where Zach Gallen being a Boras client. I know, right? Yeah, Oscar. He never brings us along with all of us on any of his trips. He just hates us. He just wants to get a little vacation away from us, but that's okay. He's enjoying Germany. So hopefully he's all safe out there. But I think that it's going to be the option B. I don't think we're going to get Gallen. I think he's going to decline the option. I think he's going to go to some other team. Maybe I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe he goes to the Orioles. The Orioles need pitching. Maybe the Orioles pony up and be like, hey, we see your track record, the back of your baseball card. I know there's been a couple years recently, maybe not the best, but we need some pitching desperately. We'll give you the money. I could see some teams being a little bit desperate enough. Who knows? Maybe in the fucking Colorado Rockies. Maybe the Rockies are like, hey man, here's fucking throw money at the problem. We need pitching. I could see some other team willing to outbid the Diamondbacks and put up a higher asking price, something that he is more comfortable with as a Boras client. And we'll welcome in Red Sox Nation. Love seeing you in here. Just same with you, Oscar. Same with you, Scott. Disruptive everybody else. But yeah, that's my opinion. That's what I think is going to happen with Zach Gallen. Again, I don't think we're going to bring him back, unfortunately, because again, I love Zach Gallen. Even when we got him, I was big on the that's the future NL Cy Young Award winner, Zach Gallen. Still really like the guy. I still think he's a great person. And I don't want him to put on a uniform, but I know business can be a business sometimes. I know him, his agent, they're notorious for looking for the better option that they can get as a player. And I think that because of his track record and what he's done in the past and how he finished off the season, that some team will be willing to give him more money than the D-backs are comfortable with. But I'm curious your thoughts on the whole Zach Gallen, obviously with the qualifying offer amount and maybe the route that we see, not just the D-backs, but him and Boras go this offseason.
Keep in mind, this is for every guy that gets offered a qualifying offer. This is what the amount is. This is not just for Zach Gallen, like starting pitchers. This is everybody. So he's going to reject it because of who his agent is, Scott Boras. Scott Boras, without a doubt, knows he can get more. All we need is him to sign at least $50 million. If he signs a contract for at least $50 million, we get that late first-round pick.
We'll probably he'll sign for 2 years, $45 million, just to be like, fuck you, D-backs. I'm getting a 2-year contract.
I mean, even if he does, we get a pick after the second round. That's the whole reason why they're doing the qualifying offer. Is if they don't end up re-signing him,
you get a pick pretty much no matter what.
Yeah, you get a pick. One's a little bit better than the other. He is absolutely rejecting this offer. There was a very heated discussion in the Discord about this. I think it was last week. Trying to say is he good? Is he not? Is he not even worth that? I still think it's 4 years, 100. I really think that's probably what he's looking for. So Scott Boras is going to have a busy off year because he has Gallen. He has to work with Bregman because Bregman is opting out of his deal.
Pete Alonso's
opting out of his deal. So, but that's Scott Boras every year. He always has a couple of clients that
Wasn't he always A-Rod's agent too?
I think so.
Yeah, dude's probably made over $1 billion just in even Red Sox Nation saying
Monty fired him though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's also, I can see how it is. Monty's a little different situation. Boras definitely botched. Monty could have gotten a big fucking bag. He could have gotten a huge fucking bag if it was any other agent. He probably had some, 4 or 5 year deals that Boras was like, no, we're going to deny it because, you get a better, 5%, which is $100,000 per player. I mean, look at the Juan Soto contract. What's 5% of $750 million?
A lot.
A lot, yeah, exactly. And that's, look at A-Rod's contract. Look at Bregman, Pete Alonso. So, I agree with Brandon. Boras is definitely going to be
I do want them to bring Gallen back, though. I was really, really impressed. And I said this, if you do, you bring back James McCann as your backup catcher. Because what James McCann did for him and a lot of the other pitchers on the pitching staff in the second half, I think is something that not a lot of people, I think, were talking about. So
Yeah, and we have a big hole in the pitching department. Like,
yes,
there's not
like
many young guys in like the minors. Like the closest we have is probably Spencer Geisting and Yumin Lin, which I still think need maybe a couple more months of seasoning. Like I could see them debuting next year, but I don't think they're ready. Excuse me. Even like Daniel Egan. Daniel Egan had a really, really good season, but he was still in the low minors.
fantastic year.
He's not ready. He's not ready for the major league rotation yet. And I think if they do, it'll be rushing him a little bit soon. So, I mean, what's the hurt? Like, maybe do a 2-3 year with a mutual opt out after the first year, kind of like what Alex Bregman got for the Red Sox, or what like Pete Alonso got this year. Like, have it be just go year by year basis. At least bring him back because again, we're gonna need pitching this year.
Yeah, that's why I'm like I'm not saying that we have to bring him back or we need to. I would like to see it. If we don't, it's fine. Because I think we only have about $60 million probably that we're going to be able to spend this offseason. And there's literally the entire pitching staff needs to be redone. The starting pitching and the bullpen. Like
So would you rather the
bullpen-
money go to Gallen and then like maybe one good bullpen pitcher, or would you rather see them try to get some money forward, like two different bullpen pitchers? Like, I mean, personally, I would love Devin Williams. The back of the we talked about last time with when Gabe was on the show with us. The back of the baseball card doesn't lie, but obviously he's only one pitcher. We need a couple different arms until guys like Puck and Martinez are back. And I think if anything, just having two elite guys in the background in there would make it easier for when Puck and Martinez do get back. It just makes it a deeper bullpen. But I'm curious your thoughts. Would you rather them go starter, even if they don't go after Zach Gallen, maybe they go after Merrill Kelly and give him that kind of money, or would you rather have them do maybe a cheaper relief pitcher or cheaper starting pitcher, and then focus more of their money on getting a couple different higher leverage reliever arms?
I think with this offense, I think we just need some decent starting pitching, but the bullpen. The amount of games that we lost last season because of the bullpen. So Red Sox Nation is saying 2. I'm saying 3 to 4. Like I think that's what
High
we
leverage
really-
and two like middle relief, like middle
Yeah.
leverage.
like a Devin Williams and like a Ryan Helsey. I think if we could get those two, I would be fine with like I know everyone's gonna point of fact he was awful with the Mets, but that's the exception and not the rule. Like for the most part, he's been a really good reliever. Same thing with Devin Williams. Like I know, like every time that I see any sort of Arizona sports account like post about Devin Williams, they're all like, "No, no, no, he was awful last year." That was 1 year. I'm sorry. Like I think he is a really good reliever. Maybe it was just some guys just can't pitch in those big markets. Maybe Devin Williams was that guy.
Yeah,
And
and
I
I mean,
think he
just
would-
looking at his numbers, like again, outside of the 1 year, like yes, he had a negative .3 WAR this last year. He finished really solid to end the season. I mean, I think he had like a 7 ERA for a long time. Obviously, a 4.79 isn't going to jump off the page, but he still pitched 6 innings, still had 90 strikeouts. But I mean, just looking at his entire track record, I mean, with the Brewers, like obviously 2019 he pitched 13 innings, he had a negative WAR, but after that he had a 1.3, 1.5, 2.3, 2.6, even a 1.4. His
Former
in
rookie of the year, by the way.
Yeah, dude. In 2024, obviously, I know Pete Alonso kind of broke him, and ever since that walk-off home or that home run against the Brewers in the wild card series, or was it the division series? I think it was
Wild
whatever.
card.
Yeah, wild card.
Wild card.
I mean, he had a 1 ERA plus is kind of like the OPS plus. 100 is league average for pitchers. He had a 1.66 ERA plus in 2021, a 2.09 in 22, a 2.82 in 23, a 3.38 in 04. His
Yeah.
FIP in each one of those seasons was under 3. It was a 2.8, 201, 266, 206. Even last year, he had a 268 FIP. Like this year with the New York Yankees, he had an 85 ERA plus, but he had a 268 FIP. And FIP is kind of one of those where sometimes it factors in a little bit more of like, hey, did you have dog shit defense behind you, or were you actually a terrible pitcher? So having a FIP at 2.6 kind of shows a little bit where he was a little bit unlucky with the defense. The Yankees didn't really help him out too much. I mean, he had the second most, he had a second high in strikeouts for a single season. His career high was 96 in 60 innings. This is a career high in innings, 62 innings this year, 90 strikeouts. I mean, he had almost a second career in low in walks. Like I still think that Devin Williams is a really solid pitcher, and I would personally love for us to give him the money because again we have a glaring hole in the bullpen, and even like Brandon said, we have a decent enough offense as long as we fucking don't trade Couture Marte. To where if we can get just league average pitching, and we know what this offense can do, just turn it over to a bullpen that we don't have to worry about blowing 50, 60 fucking leads, and we'll be fine. Like we'll be over 500.
Just blow
team.
15 instead of 30, and then we'll be fine.
Or just even less than 10, you know?
I think we need to take advantage of the fact that he had a down year this past season. Maybe we can get him on the cheap. Like Red Sox Nation here is stating, Jesse and Jack said Williams isn't projected to make much. This would be a good pickup. I agree as well. That's why, like, every time that I see people's like, no, he was awful as a New York Yankee. So, go look at his other stuff. I'm sorry. Like, I think it was just, it was the exception and not the rule. So I wouldn't mind them picking up Devin.
Maybe go after Kenley Jansen as
Can you
another extra guy.
imagine that bullpen, say come August, you have Devin Williams, Ryan Helsey, AJ Puck, and J-Mart. I mean, J-Mart's probably projected to miss all of next season, is from what I'm seeing. But I can be hopeful that he comes back in August or September. Like, can you imagine those four back there?
Disgusting.
Like, then I'd be fine if we were up 2-1 in the seventh inning.
Here's my if I could spit some MLB The Show, turn off budgets, and kind of go for a couple guys. Obviously Devin Williams number one. Give me Williams number one. If we're gonna spend most of our money there, I don't think we can get Williams and Helsley. I think it'd probably be one or the other. So I'd say go for Williams just because he's got a better track record. Helsley has a couple more years showing where he's a little bit he's struggled a little bit. Then go for maybe Kenley Jansen. Kenley Jansen had a pretty solid year with the Angels last year. He probably shouldn't cost too much. Or again would be maybe Helsley and Williams is more of a feasible signing. Give me Williams and Robert Suarez. I think Robert Suarez will make more than both those guys. But if we want to pony up the money instead of going for a guy like Zach Gallen, give me Robert Suarez, Devin Williams, and Kenley Jansen.
He throws some solid heat.
Exactly. Like I know that's three righties, and like we, sometimes you want to go with another righty, but like, give me those three guys. I could see us maybe coming back with like Andrew Chafin, make his like fifth time as a D-back. But I think those three would be really solid. Maybe even like I know Jose Alvarado. I think the Phillies are going to be probably moving around some pieces. I know Alvarado wasn't amazing this year, but he was still .4 WAR, 3.81.
Because he missed because he was suspended.
Oh, that's right. Thank you. That makes sense. Yeah, but still, there's a couple pieces they can work around with. I'd rather have them just put their money. If they don't sign Zach Gallen, I'd rather have that $22 million go to again Kenley Jansen. I think was making $10 million this year. I mean, just looking at the SPO track, I'm looking at Kenley Jansen and his market value is around $13 million. Let me see. Devin Williams' market value is around $5 million. So less than half of what Kenley's going to be projected to make. Even another name, I know he wasn't the greatest with the Brewers, but he looked pretty solid in the postseason. He has a nasty changeup. Tommy Kahnle. I'd be okay with Tommy Kahnle. Tigers, yeah, not the Brewers. Tigers. He'd be a pretty solid, piece for the changeup alone. I know another guy, Andrew Kittredge. I think he has a club option for like $9 million. So maybe the Cubs did not comes to that. Maybe they go for Kittredge. There's definitely some interesting names on the bullpen or on the free agent market when it comes to relief pitchers.
Deals. So
Luke Weaver, I think. Let me see. Luke Weaver is he's a UFA. So he's gonna be around $9 million more than Devin Williams. So maybe they go for Luke Weaver, bring him back. He looked like the Yankees kind of fixed whatever problem he is there. There's a lot of options they can go with, and I feel like the money they can save on Gallen, they could really piece his bullpen together and then spend a little bit of money. Maybe getting Merrill Kelly. I think Merrill Kelly will be cheaper than Zach Gallen, and that would fill the roster spot that we need from Gallen, and we don't have to worry about giving $22 million just to Gallen. Maybe it'd be $25 million just for Merrill over 2 years, $13 million a year. I could see that, but I don't know. It's I think we're all on the same page here where do not be surprised at all. 1, when Zach Gallen declines the offer. 2, if he winds up in another team.
I think he goes to the Mets.
He loves pitching in New York. He fucking loves pitching in New York.
And they need starting pitching help, so.
Yeah, they do. So
match made in heaven for him.
Yeah, so we'll once we are fully in and officially into the offseason, I think especially when games back, we'll do our free agency predictions. Pick a couple names that maybe we predict to go to the D-backs, and a couple names that maybe we kind of like that Zach Gallen to the Mets. Some other names. But moving on to some more, I guess, D-backs news here is the D-backs did officially get a new third base coach. I know, obviously, they relieved Sean Larkin in the middle of the season of his duties, and they got a interim third base coach. But they now hired a official full-time new third base coach from the Cincinnati Reds, J.R. House. He was a former Reds coach. He will also be the coach for the catchers, and which used to belong to Bannister, I believe, that role. Homecoming in a way. House spent the first 7 years of his coaching career with the Diamondbacks organization working as a minor league manager, hitting coach, and a field coordinator. He played parts of 5 seasons from 03 to 04 and then 06 to 08 with the Pirates, Astros, Orioles as a catcher, first baseman. He likes to coach third in an aggressive manner, though he acknowledged the various factors that need to be weighed in the role. So the aggressive manner of it kind of worries me a little bit, but hopefully it's not as aggressive. And I'd rather you be aggressive and then be smart about it than like be aggressive where you're literally flipping a coin every single time someone's coming around third. You're like, do I send him or do I not? Let me not factor in arm strength and where the ball is in my runner speed. Let me just send him fucking Sean Larkin. And then Bogart will return to the same minor league coaching role he held before joining the minor league staff in August. Who was obviously the interim third base coach, and then Larkin, who had not coached third before at the major league level, never really seemed to be comfortable in the role. He will remain on the field as the infield coach. Obviously, that was Tony Perez-Chica's job last year, so hopefully, he can do a little bit of a better job. Maybe he can focus on that, kind of fix whatever issues Jordan Lawler was having and some other guys there, but do have a new third base coach, so hopefully we see a little bit more smart sends next year. And some consistent third base decisions, so we don't have to worry about having 20-something runners thrown out of home like that we saw this year. Where
Half of them being
you're gonna
Gino.
send Eugenio Suarez home when he hasn't even rounded third and the ball is already hitting the cutoff man, but you're gonna keep Alec Thomas at third base when the ball is still in the corner being picked up. Like, fucking make it make sense. My God, I'm glad we don't have to deal with Sean Larkin in that position anymore. But obviously, I know it's not like hiring a new manager. It's not like we know too much about this guy. But at least seeing on what is out there, information-wise, on J.R. House, what are your expectations, and how do you feel about the pickup and the new signing for the D-backs third base coach?
I'm pretty excited. He is. So I want to, before we get into that, Justin's comment. So they can't actually officially give the qualifying offer till after the World Series. So he can't actually decline it.
Just very well known he's going to decline it.
He is going to decline it, is basically what everyone is saying. So once they officially offer the qualifying offer after, because they have 5 days after the World Series ends to actually offer it, and then he'll probably decline it. And then we'll see what happens from there. But no, I liked his fact that he is aggressive in it, which can be a good and bad thing. It felt like Larkin...
Be aggressive, but be smart about it. Don't be indecisive.
I feel like Larkin didn't, or it seemed like he wasn't studying these outfield arms with each series to know, okay, who is accurate, who has good arms, who doesn't. So,
that's literally the whole third base coach's
Scott,
job.
are you asking about before last season or who happened this season? Because that was Tony Perez-Chica who went to Houston for the same
And then
role.
Larkin was relieved for Bogar. And Bogar is going to be going back to his minor league coaching position. So he's still in the organization. He was just the interim third base coach for the rest of the season. So he's still with the team.
They had to pick someone. They literally had a day to make a decision, so they just had to do something quick. So I think they wanted something more long term. They just, with the season coming to an end, they just had to change something. They just had to change something. So, I just be patient is all I'm gonna say. I know fans like to overreact to every bad send, but I think give him some time. I'd say probably give him the first month or so.
He gets 5 bad sends. After that, we can start hating on him and making.
It depends on how bad the send is.
Yeah, if it's one of those those Geno sends, or one of those where he's aggressive. It was just there's a difference between a bad send and a great relay. Like there's teams making a
Yeah.
perfect relay to throw somebody out on a bang bang play, and then there's again, if it's a bad throw, then that's like, oh wow, that was an aggressive send, but hey, you know what? That's a big run right there. I'd rather have it be an
If
aggressive
you're
send.
out by like 3 strides, that's a bad send.
Yeah.
But if you're like approaching home plate and it's a perfect throw, like there's nothing you can do about it.
Just like with stealing a base, like hey, sometimes you can time it. You can be a perfect stole or perfect steal, and the catcher has a perfect throw. You just gotta tip your cap.
3 strikes, bad sends, and you're out. Yes, you are.
I mean, again, I think obviously a little bit more of a leash, but again, I think it's maybe we'll look at that next year whenever we can get videos of it and be like, okay, was this a bad send? It'll be like a little mini in-game shows, like welcome to bad send or great throw, and we can actually dissect and be like, oh, that was just a great relay, like the one against the I think was it the Guardians or the Rangers, the one where the guy tripped and fell, but then got back up and like he still got thrown out at home. Was it against that was the Guardians? That was the Guardians, like that day game.
Yes, that.
Yeah, the Guardians. Like again, that's another one. You gotta know who your arms are. The left fielder and the shortstop. The shortstop for the Guardians has one of the strongest arms in baseball, and you gotta know that as a third base coach to be like, okay, I know he tripped and fell, but if this gets into the shortstop, obviously it was a perfect throw. I think that one was a perfect throw. Like it wasn't a horrible send. But I think it could teeter on to the side of like, hey, maybe a bad decision. Maybe not like, I'd rather you be conservative there than be aggressive there and, end a rally. But then there's certain ones, like we said, the countless Geno sends where the ball is already reaching the catcher and Geno hasn't even reached the little round circle of dirt that we saw Vladdy Jr. Superman diving into in the ALDS against the Yankees. Yeah, great photo. But I think there'll be something to keep an eye on throughout the season, and we can have a little mini game in here. Hopefully we don't even have to do the mini game. Maybe he'll just be perfect. Maybe we'll get lucky and he'll just be he'll hold guys up when he should. He'll send guys when he should or shouldn't, and we don't have to worry about criticizing him. But that's not the way baseball works. We're here as fans to criticize, and be keyboard pounders, as Tori likes to call pretty much anybody that has an opinion that judges the team, because the rest of the AZ media can just be like, oh no, we're gonna bow and say yes, thank you, everything's perfect.
Yes, master.
Or just it's like the North Korea media, where it's like oh, everything is perfect here, everything is perfect, there's nothing wrong, everything is dandy. It's like, hey man, again, there's being negative and there's being negative when you shouldn't, and there's having rightful criticism of certain things. But again, we're obviously, because we're only fans, we have no right to criticize a team because we're just keyboard pounders living in our mom's basement. But it will be interesting to see. I think we're going to see a little bit more coaching overhaul. Obviously, we don't see too much. Like, we're not getting rid of we did keep all the same coaches, like Justin. He kind of read my mind. We did keep all the same coaches. We're not going to be getting a new pitching coach. We're not getting a new bench coach. So most of the staff will stay there. I just don't think that the team is very, I don't hate it to a certain degree. Sometimes it's not all on the coaching staff. Sometimes, it can be a little bit bad luck. Sometimes nobody saw all these injuries happening. And again, I know we can blame Kaplan for a lot of it. Kaplan's not the reason for the injuries. He can be the reason for the regression in some of these pitchers and maybe their game plan. But at the same time, I don't think it's all on him. I think that they want to be like, okay, was this year a fluke, or are you genuinely a bad coach? Where this year will be a make or break for guys like not just Tori, but Kaplan, maybe even like obviously Hazen in the front office. Maybe they just clean house fully after this year. Hopefully, fingers crossed, make the playoffs. We don't have to fucking think about this discussion. But I don't think that they want to get rid of the entire team. I think they want to really know, like, okay, was this truly just the team got hampered by injuries so much and kind of wasted some of their potential, or is this the coaching staff and the actual management, front office, whatever, the team that is the problem? And I think we're gonna find out that answer after the 2026 season. But I mean, Sky, I could see the saying mediocrity, but at the same time, like, this is still pretty much the same coaching staff that we've had from the 2023 season. And, like, we did fine there last year, 2024. Like, we were literally one game out from being in the playoff spot. I know, obviously, whatnot. So I can see both sides of it. I don't necessarily hate the idea because, again, sometimes using a manager as a scapegoat doesn't fix all your problems. Sometimes it's more than just
easy thing to do.
Exactly. And, like, I know, Brandon, where a lot of us are still on the side of, like, hey, if Lovello or some of the other coaching staff, whether it's pitching, coach. I mean, I still like Hazen, but if he trades fucking Ketel Marte, I'm quickly on the side of get this fucker out of the organization, please. Especially because he can't trade to save our goddamn lives at this point. But I think this will be the make or break year, and we'll definitely
So
see.
he can trade when he needs to acquire players, like what he did. Like Gino was a
He
good
can't
trade.
sell.
He cannot sell. He cannot sell to save his life. He can buy really well though.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess he does. But the one trade, looking back on it, especially seeing with the ALCS, I mean, how many former Dimebacks alone from the Paul Sewald trade and the Gino trade, like Dominic Canzone, obviously even Josh Naylor over there, Gino
Vargas?
like going back over there, Vargas, who's not been the greatest in the postseason, but the Mariners have a pretty solid. Scott, I honestly, if we could guarantee that we would extend either of those guys, I would see maybe going for Skeens or Skubal, but we know we're not going to sign either of those guys. Like, those guys are going to be big money. The Tigers are apart like $250 million with Skubal and his agents on an extension. Like, Skubal's getting paid Dodger, Mets, or Yankees money. We don't have that money. Where if we can guarantee that we would extend these guys and make them, a D-back for the rest of their career, or at least for another like 6-7 years, I would say maybe, but it's not going to happen. And even like Brandon said earlier, it's not like Catel's this 26, 27-year-old guy on a super team-friendly deal. The extension last year, while still team-friendly to a certain degree, it's not like he's getting paid the $12 million or $13 million he was when he signed that original extension. I don't think it makes the team better in any way, shape, or form. Getting just Skubal, because I mean the offense outside of the Carroll, Perdomo, and Marte, and even Gabby. I'll throw Gabby in there when he's healthy. He's that's why he was in the 4 hole. But outside of those like top 4, the rest of the lineup looks pretty fucking depressing with the way we saw with McCarthy, Alec, Tim Tawa, even like Jaden McCann. If he's a backup catcher, he's not as bad, but the rest of the lineup doesn't look as good. So if you take away a big thumper like Ketel Marte, I just don't see how it makes the team better at all, especially for a pitcher and a player that only plays every 5th day, that we might even not even see be a Diamondback for more than 2-3 years at the very most. So that's why personally I don't.
Skeens. Like I know it's fun, but
It would cost Ketel Marte, Tommy Troy, Jordan Lawler. You'd probably need to throw in like 2 or 3
Waldschmidt probably.
Yeah, probably throw in Waldschmidt. Like, Skeens is a genuinely generational arm, and he's going to go to another team. The Pirates won't extend him. He's probably going to go to the Dodgers or the Yankees, so we just got to accept it and just live life like we're expected to deal with Otani, Snell, Yamamoto, Skeens for the next decade, because we fucking live in the hell that is the NL West. But there is, I guess, a little bit of other, or anything else on the those 2 fronts, or the Jair House thing you want to touch on before we move on to our next topic?
No.
All right. So there was a little bit more, I guess, D-backs news. Nothing, again, there hasn't been like any breaking news or anything major. But we will see at least a little bit more D-backs players getting some ball in this offseason in winter ball. Not just in the fall league, obviously, which is going on right now, which, again, if you guys have the opportunity, go to the Arizona Fall League. It's some of the best baseball. It's super low capacity, not many people in there, and you can see a lot of future stars in the making. Like my parents years ago got to see Jazz Chisholm when he was still a Dimeback. Got to see Jack Caglione last year personally. So there's a lot of young players you can see, and some young D-backs prospects there. But some actual like major league ready D-backs and major league player D-backs, we have Jordan Lawler and Geraldo Perdomo, who are both going to be playing in the Dominican Winter League, getting some extra reps in, which I'm surprised for Perdomo personally, just because I know he's been playing with the hand bruise. I figured he would have taken it off, but the dude just eats, sleeps, and breathes baseball, so he just does not want to. I think if anything, when he's playing so well, he's like, why would I want to take a break off? No, like, let me just keep going. Where Jordan Lawler, he definitely needs the reps, because obviously he was borderline banished to the shadow realm the second he was brought up here, but. Were you surprised by either of these guys going to play winter ball, and are you going to be tuning in to maybe watch any of their games? Which I don't know where you can tune into them, but I will try to do my best to find out, because I would love to watch some Domo and Lawler playing some Dominican winter ball.
What I'm looking for is where are they playing Lawler in the Winter League? Are they going to try him at third here? Are we going to see him at second? Are they going to try him in center? Because I think they should try him in center. Because I think he'd be a great center fielder. He is very athletic, has a better arm than McCarthy and Thomas.
I'd rather just put him at third, keep Blaze in center. I mean, either way, but I don't know. Blaze is, you know who Blaze is, where Jordan Lawler's still like a borderline young super prospect. I'm a little bit gun shy on moving him full off of the infield role and putting him in the outfield because I'm just
he
thinking
can
of
play all of them. Play second,
yeah.
third, short, and center.
But I just get flashbacks to Chris Owings and how that kind of did not really work out too well.
Or Ketel Marte in center.
Oh God, dude, that was a fucking dark time. That was kind of what led to all of his hamstring injuries because it was just a lot more ground for him to cover. Like not every you can be a great athlete, but not everyone is meant to be a center fielder. It's not Little League where it's like
he literally caught the final out of Tyler Gilbert's no hitter.
I know. Look, every time I see the highlight, I was like, fucking Ketel Marte in center field. That is Ketel Marte in center field.
That was that one. That was 2019, right?
I thought it was it 21? Wasn't it 21?
Was it?
Because I thought that was like the most because. That was like the only highlight in that dog shit season.
Was it?
Tyler Gilbert no-hitter was 2021, August 14th against the Padres.
Okay. I don't know why I was thinking.
We have more no-hitters against the Padres than the Padres ever ring. Sorry, I had to throw that in there.
You did, didn't you?
I'm sorry. That was mean to me. But yeah, so
it wasn't that mean.
Dark times. I don't want to go back to seeing another guy because again Ketel Marte once we moved him back to second base it was like it's almost like he was never supposed to be an outfielder and like I think Blaze shows he can't play the outfield too well or pretty well and I don't think that just because you're a great athlete like you probably can play the outfield but can you play it at a good enough level to where it's worth it or it's like hey you know what maybe we just like actually give you a shot at one of the infield positions that you've been playing for probably a good majority of your life but I don't know. I do agree with you. I think it'll be interesting to see exactly where Lawler plays, maybe what order they put him in. It'll obviously be interesting to see how I know pitching in the Dominican Winter League is not pitching in the Major League Baseball or in Major League Baseball. It's not the same, different caliber, but it will be interesting to see. Maybe he can adjust to more fastballs. Maybe, he can, or not just fast, maybe he can adjust to more breaking balls, sliders, curveballs, have better swing decisions, drive the ball a little bit more. Because he was starting to turn up a little bit there in the last week or so. Starting to turn around a little bit. Obviously, it's tough to make your numbers look better when you're basically 0 for 21 to start the season, where you're already, kind of like Jake McCarthy, you're already in such a deep hole. But he's playing a little more consistent, and if he can just get the defense down, I think that it'll be a big confidence booster over in the offseason leading into spring training where he'll probably have a full runway to actually win a opening day roster spot. But
if he stays healthy.
Exactly. As long as he can avoid injuries. 'Cause I think last year he also had a little bit of an injury issue there in the Winter League where I think he missed like a couple games and that's kind of what ended his Winter League a little bit early. Maybe I'm mistaken. I could be. But I thought he had kind of a similar issue last year where they pulled him to make sure that he didn't have any like hamstring issues once again. But I guess moving on to more broader baseball stuff here is we are still in the postseason, obviously. To nobody's surprise, the Dodgers are 1 win away and 5 wins away total from repeating as World Series champions. They're 1 win away from going to the World Series back-to-back seasons as they are up 3-0 on the Milwaukee Brewers. The Brewers look overmatched. The Brewers look like, which I'm not surprised. Once I saw the Brewers go to 5 games against the Cubs,
so
I was kind of
it's not like they look overmatched. Dodgers starting pitching right now is lights out.
Dude, it was funny. After Blake Snell did 8 innings, which there's a super fucking funny copy pasta going around baseball Twitter. I don't know if you saw that. Somebody tried to go after Sarah Langs for stealing a tweet. It's like, why do this? Why, like, it's too much to explain if you guys aren't chronicling online, but it's one of the funniest copy pastas.
It's childish. It's so like, she stole my homework.
Yeah, it's stats are not stats. Like stats are not owned by one person just because you tweet it out. And it wasn't even the same tweet. But in game 1, Blake Snell dominated the Brewers. Went 8 innings, one hit and no runs. 8 innings, 1 hit, no runs with like 10 something strikeouts. And listening to game 2 on the broadcast, they're talking about how like, oh, you know what? It's anything but Snell. Anybody but Snell. Heck yeah. And the Brewers started off with a home run against Yamamoto. And it's like, yeah, look at that. Anybody but Snell. But I'm pretty sure Yamamoto somehow had an earpiece and was listening to the broadcast. He said, oh, anybody but fucking Snell, huh? How about I go 9 innings? How about I go to a complete game after the Dodgers 8 innings?
Yeah.
To where, like, none of us saw, I don't think Yamamoto, Snell, or even Glasnow doing what they're doing in the postseason. Because we all knew their bullpen was a glaring issue. It has been all season, but their starting pitchers like, what if we just don't give the ball to our bullpen? I mean, the bullpen almost blew it in game 1. Roki got touched up a little bit. Trinan, if Bryce Terang would have just left his knee in the way, which I don't blame him getting out of the way. Nobody wants to get hit by a 90-something.
Or don't swing at a pitch that's a foot above your head.
Yeah, exactly. But the Dodgers are in comfortable command if unless they pull a fucking 2004 was it 2004 Yankees? No, I think it was 2000. Was it 2003 Yankees where they blow a 3-0 lead? Unless the Dodgers do that, then we're gonna see them repeat, and they're in a good position because they might get an extra time to rest their players because the Mariners, after going up 2-0 on the Blue Jays, kind of kicking them around a little bit there in
Toronto.
In Toronto there. The Blue Jays have gone into Seattle and done the exact same thing to the Mariners and just kind of kicked their ass a little bit. Former D-back Max Scherzer did pitch today, and
did you see what happened?
Yelling at his fucking pitching coach.
He's like, "No, I'm not coming out."
Dude, yeah, he's you do not want to be on the wrong side of Max Scherzer, but the Mariners were sure on the wrong side of Max Scherzer. I mean, Scherzer today, just looking, I'm trying to find the box score.
I think he went 5.
Yeah, there's the box score. Yeah, so Scherzer went 5 2/3, only 3 hits, 2 runs. He did walk 4, but still Mad Max is still Mad Max. And the series now all tied up. I mean, Vladdy Jr. after going hitless in the first 2 games is just fucking crushing it lately. Showing the reason why. I mean, even our group chat, we were like, man, we really wanted Vladdy, and he's
his
showing
OPS this postseason 1.470.
Jesus Christ, yeah, 5 home runs in the postseason already? Like insane. Where like the rest of the Mariners lineup is, I mean, they're not bad. It's just the Mariners pitching isn't what they were expected to be. Like going into Seattle, it's like, oh my goodness, I saw this Smiling Friends clip where it's like, oh the Blue Jays realizing that they have to go back to Seattle and they haven't even faced Brian Roon. It's like Alan, we are so fucked. I don't know if you guys seen Smiling Friends, very funny clip. And the Blue Jays were like, we're not fucked. We're gonna tie up the series. So depending on, I mean, that's gonna go at least 6 games, obviously. So if the Dodgers win tomorrow, they'll have a few extra days to rest up their starters. And I'm gonna say it now. I know Suge might be listening, but I think we're getting the start of a dynasty. I think we're getting the closest thing we've gotten to the late 90s Yankees, and we're gonna see 2, 3, potentially even 4 World Series championships in a row with the way they're playing. Like
they're going to
sign
someone this offseason for a lot of money too.
Yeah, and like Ohtani's not even hitting well. Ohtani's hitting like under 200 in the postseason. I think it might be up a little bit after today. Yeah, Ohtani's hitting 158 with a 641 OPS in the postseason. Like, Teoscar Hernandez is a postseason god, apparently. Max Muncy is still doing Max Muncy thing. I think he has the all-time Dodgers postseason home run record. Yeah. Andy Pajas is being in the 9-hole. He's like, their lineup is just so deep. Their starting pitching is just insane. And, I whoever comes out of the American League, I want them to win. But with the way the Dodgers are playing, and if their starting pitching keeps going the way they're doing, I don't think it's going to be close. I think we're going to see the Dodgers sweep the Brewers. The Dodgers are probably going to win the World Series in 5 games, and we're going to be living in hell. Another decade of this. Yay!
I'm shocked. A team that spent all that money is playing really, really well.
Yeah, but I mean, even don't get me wrong. I will hate on the they spent a lot of money, but at the same time, like the Mets spent more than them, I think, or if not as much. They didn't even make the playoffs. The Yankees spent a fuck ton of money. They didn't even make.
But
they didn't
the
even make it
Dodgers
past
are
the
a
ALDS.
good ran organization. The Mets are not.
Exactly, but that's the thing where it's like the Dodgers. We can hate on the Dodgers spending money, but they're just an actually well-run machine. Where like they're gonna spend money and they do it the right way, they do it on the right players, and they just have a winning culture there. Whereas like other teams, they just expect, like even the Phillies, they just expect to throw money at the problem and think it'll fix it when there's actually like problems inside the organization or issues inside the organization where they don't fully look at the issues. Where it just seems like the Dodgers just don't have that issue. Like, does not matter. Like, I don't know what it is. Again, we will not saying I'm a fan of the Dodgers. Obviously, not a fucking shot. But, I got to tip the cap, got to give respect where it's due for the organization, how they're run, and how they've been playing. They're just they're the team that everybody wants to be. Like, if we could spend money, I would love to spend money like the Dodgers. If we were owned by Guggenheim, if we were Dodger fans, we're in the same shoe, we'd be telling other teams, boo fucking who? Like, who cares? Like, we're not just spending money, but we have a, good GM. We have a well-run, like, we have an owner that actually wants to spend money. We have a fan base that's going to sell out pretty much every game. They're going to make their money back there. Like, they're what every other team wants to be, and sometimes you gotta face facts. You gotta admit it, and the Dodgers are going to be the closest thing to a dynasty we have since the late 90s Yankees.
We'll see if we get back-to-back champs.
Probably. I mean, the way it's going, I don't.
Brewers, just win a game. Like,
yeah,
or
make
like,
it a game.
Get it back to Milwaukee. Like, if you can, I mean, I know it's a bold task to have them win the next 2 games, because now Otani is pitching tomorrow, so never know.
God, that's insane that they're number 4 pitcher in this fucking show here. Oh, God. Embarrassment of riches, man. I will say again, that's what pissed me off so much about him being a Dodger, is because he's genuinely a generational pitcher or generational talent. Like I talk about it at work all the time. If you take a time machine, like everyone's like, oh, it's the modern day Babe Ruth. Otani is way better than Babe Ruth. If you have Babe Ruth step into a time machine in his prime, he travels to now. You have him face Jacob Mizorowski throwing 104-mile-an-hour fastballs and a 96-mile-an-hour curveball. Babe Ruth is shitting his pants.
Yeah.
And he's going back to the time. Where if you have Otani in his prime, I mean, he's still in his prime. You have him travel back to Babe Ruth's days. He's going to put up like 900 home runs, and he's going to be he's going to be the greatest player in baseball history. Like I know the eras are very different, but like Otani is the best player we will ever see in any of our lifetimes. I'm going to be telling my
The
son
dude
about it.
is 6'4" and hits as many triples as Corbin Carroll.
Yeah, and he throws 100. He got 2 Tommy Johns, and he throws 100 still. And he has a disgusting splitter and a nasty curveball. Like,
That's insane.
it's the dude. The dude eats, breathes, and sleeps baseball. Like, and that's what I hate about him being a Dodger. Because I'll make my jokes about him, gambling and all that. But like, I don't hate the guy. I wish if he was any other team, I'd still be rooting for him. I mean, I was this close to getting an Otani Angels jersey when he won his first MVP in 2020 or 2022.
He's gonna win another one this year, by the way.
He's gonna win one every year. If he's pitching, nobody's gonna win an MVP. It's gonna be who's gonna finish second?
If he just plays in general for a majority of the season, he's gonna win an MVP every year.
Genuinely, like the dude it sucks because like I want to enjoy the talent while it's here because we're never gonna see a talent like this ever again. But I mean, his career is disgusting. It's insane what he's doing as a player, and we just gotta just kind of gotta enjoy it, and hope that maybe the last few years of his career, once he's still getting all that deferred money, we can finally see him regress a little bit, and somebody else can win a goddamn MVP because, yeah, like Scott says, Otani's a human cheat code. Yeah. It's just what it is. We can hate on the Dodgers. I'll still make my jokes. Every time I see the Dodgers lineup, I always see Otani 1, bets 2, because we all know Otani bets because he's a free man, or Ippei is not. Like, I'm just saying, Emmanuel Clase is pretty much banned for the rest of his life if the reports are true, and he's never stepping on foot on the mound again. But it's because he didn't have an interpreter. Blame the interpreter. It's the easy way to do it.
It's not just the interpreter; it's having a fall guy.
Yeah, just Class A didn't have a fall guy. Like just oh no, I didn't know what was happening with my money. I'm just too focused on being a great baseball player. I don't have control of my finances. I would never bet on baseball. No, not a chance. No.
If Dodger fans ever find this, they're gonna just rip you apart.
I don't care. I mean, like, and again, it's again, I'm giving him the props he deserves, but like, let's be real, there's no fucking shot he wasn't at least aware a little bit of what was going down. Maybe he wasn't the one that was placing bets, but there's no way he didn't know Ippei wasn't using his money for that. If Otani wasn't betting, there's no way he didn't know Ippei. He was just being a good friend. He's like, dude, I'm getting literally what you're taking, I'm getting every week in just endorsement money. I don't care. Go have fun. Bet on whatever you want to bet on. But now it's like oh no, like, no, I would never, no. I would never bet on baseball. I would never knowingly have my money go towards that. I know he doesn't give a shit. I know he doesn't, but it's okay. But, oh man, any other, I got to mentally prepare myself for back-to-back World Series winners. It's literally the Dokes meme from Dexter where it's like, I know you're crooked in your betting. I just can't prove it yet. Can't prove it, but I know it. But anything else you wanted to touch on here, whether Dbacks related, obviously, the arbitration stuff, Gallen qualifying offer, the new third base coach, even some other names, Fall League, Domo, Lawler, or just even any other non-Dbacks stuff you want to touch on before we get out of here?
I hope Mike Hazen cooks this offseason. That's it. Like, if he does trade Marte, to me that proves that this team doesn't want to be competitive, because you wouldn't trade Marte if you have World Series aspirations. So
Yeah, like it's
it just like can we just put this to bed? Like that's what we need someone from the organization, Hazen, Sade, Kendrick, to come out and say we are not trading Ketel Marte.
like you just make him keep him, put it to bed. Don't even let the thought of it happen. He should finish his career as one of the most tenured Diamondback, played the longest game in Diamondbacks history. I cannot handle Nick Ahmed being the longest tenured Diamondback once again. Like please, he's like 90 games away. Not even 90. He's like 50 games away from being the longest tenured Diamondback in history. Please, just let it continue. Let that be the most unbreakable record. Fingers crossed. Let him finish off as, again, if not a top 3, easily a top 5 Diamondback in all of D-backs history.
Top 5 already.
He's already top 5 already, but I'm saying like we should keep him, and the way his career is going, I think he will surpass Gonzo and he'll be number 2. The way it's all going. I mean, he's already up there. He's already breaking, like, he's already top 5 in so many hitting records. Like, the way he's going, he will be number 2 in my book. And again, I can see people being like, oh, Gonzo has the World Series walk-off. So I'm not talking about everything they've done in the postseason. I'm just talking about stats in general, what they've fully accomplished as a Diamondback. Like, he would be, passing so many guys. But again, it's sometimes we just get cucked as D-backs fans, and we can only sit back, and we only get to sit in the chair and watch as our general manager just decides to have the team just get fucking raw dogged. But hopefully we don't get raw dogged on any kind of fucking trades like that in the offseason. But again, the place to be is not only on all of our socials, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, is our Discord as well, which is in the description for the YouTube video, the Apple, Spotify description, wherever else you might listen to our podcast, and also our pinned tweet on Twitter. So make sure you guys follow us on there. Obviously, especially once we get to the regular season, you guys know Gabe cooks up some amazing memes. Josh cooks up some amazing thumbnails and some amazing, like Josh made the craving for Paven, while Cursed, still a fantastic meme to use. So again, make sure you follow us on all socials. Join us for the Discord discussion, because obviously when news drops there, that's the first place you're going to want to be. We're going to get you guys more involved here in the off season. We're going to do some more like mailbag kind of episodes. Get you guys questions, free agency thoughts, especially once we actually get more D-backs news. We're going to have you guys a little bit more involved in these shows. So again, make sure you guys join the Discord. It's free. You don't got to spend a single dollar. And make sure you guys go on over to azsnakepit.com. Even in the offseason, there are daily articles. There's a lot of great content, especially with what's going on down, whether it's arbitration, whether it's the new third base coach, Arizona Fall League. There's all kind of content from a bunch of great writers, including our man Josh, who does a lot more written D-backs dispatch content. So if you want a little more dispatch content in your life, or just D-backs content in your life in general, everything on this Snake Pit is free as well. So make sure you guys go show some support to all those writers over there, because they've also got a great community over there, and they got a lot of great baseball minds that might even, again, we all have different opinions on the team, how we think they should run, different moves they should make. So it's always nice to see different viewpoints, different opinions, different think pieces and whatnot. And again, the AZ Snake Pit website is the place to do it. But in the meantime, we appreciate you guys spending your Thursday night here, late night. Obviously, Scott, Disruptive, Red Sox Nation, Justin, even our boy Shug. I know you're a Dodger fan, but Shug's awesome. Shug's not Cruz. Shug's a respectable Dodger fan who's an actual real fan and not just a troll. But we appreciate you guys all tuning on in here Thursday night. You guys have a fantastic rest of your evening and a great start to your Friday and weekend. And we will see you guys hopefully next week for a full trio. You guys take it easy. Peace out.
Under the lights, the game goes down. Desert heat, but we own this town. Brennan Gabe on the call, with Josh in the back, bringing it all. Fastballs hum, the bats ignite. 9 innings deep, we fight all night. Wins and losses, highs and lows, we break it down, yeah, that's how it goes. D-backs dispatch, turn it